This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. State lawmakers are renewing their call for a task force on missing and murdered black women and girls in Wisconsin. The call comes at the same time that more dismembered remains believed to be Sharday Robinson's were found in Illinois. Representative Sheila Stubbs has tried and failed to move the bill forward for 3 years. Vice President Kamala Harris in Milwaukee Thursday, reminding black voters in particular what the Biden administration is doing to boost jobs in the economy.
We are dropping trillions of dollars on the streets of America right now to build back up our roads and our bridges, our sidewalks, to invest in a clean energy economy.
Wisconsin voters tell the Marquette poll the economy is their top issue, but only 14% of black voters in the state think the economy is doing well. Wisconsin Republicans gathering in Appleton this weekend for the state party convention. Democrats are raising a lot more money these days, but state GOP chair Brian Schimming isn't fazed.
Their cost per vote's pretty high. They dropped over $100 million on Ron Johnson and lost. And so I always tell people
money doesn't tell the whole story.
Money does not tell the whole story at all.
Schimming says the GOP has a chance to win over some traditional Democratic voters.
They have slipped with Latino voters, African-American voters, younger voters, women voters. Every poll you see, it consistently shows those 4 points.
Schimming speaking with Wisconsin Eye. 9 people and 2 organizations are the governor's Service Awards winners. They were honored at a ceremony this week. The awards honor outstanding Wisconsin volunteers, AmeriCorps members and volunteers, and national service organizations that address serious social needs in Wisconsin. Federally funded food pantries in Wisconsin have to stop asking for identification in October. State health officials say the aim is to improve access for people who need it most. But some pantry officials wonder how they'll track demographic information or prevent food shortages. The tree-killing emerald ash borer is confirmed in all but one of Wisconsin's counties. Burnett County is the only county where the pest hasn't been found. State wildlife officials say it's not too late to save Wisconsin's ash trees. Landowners should avoid moving infested firewood and burn wood only from the local area. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The University of Minnesota Duluth is undertaking a massive kitchen renovation this summer. According to a Northern News Now report, the university's main kitchen is long overdue for an upgrade to better serve the community, and this summer it will get a $25 million renovation. Officials expect the new kitchen project to be finished sometime in January or February, and once complete, it will be able to employ up to 250 students each year. The university will also undertake some other smaller campus projects. The 37th annual Fishing Has No Boundaries event is underway in Hayward this weekend. The event looks to give people of all ability levels the opportunity to fish, offering adaptive equipment and modified docks to participants. The event runs from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday and Saturday this weekend at the Lake Chippewa Campground in Hayward. Organizers say the main goal of the event is to make sure everybody who wants to enjoy the sport of fishing has the chance, even if they don't end up catching anything. Duluth Mayor Roger Reinhardt says the city is working to address problems in its snow emergency process. According to a Facebook post, Mayor Reinhardt says one of the biggest issues the city needs to deal with is moving cars off the street so plow drivers can clean the streets quickly. One proposed solution includes law enforcement officers being more aggressive when enforcing the Sunday turnover, which requires cars to move to the opposite side of the street. A new snow emergency plan could be in place by winter. Some Bayfield County residents are rallying against a proposed cell tower in the area. According to a Northern News Now report, community members took to the county board's zoning meeting on Thursday to argue against the tower on the northern tip of the Bayfield Peninsula. With input from the community, the committee passed a motion to build the tower under a conditional use permit, so the project can only move forward if it meets certain standards. Those standards have not yet been decided on by the committee. Wisconsin environmental organizations are calling on the United States Army Corps of Engineers to postpone the release of its draft environmental assessment and a public hearing on a new segment of the Line 5 oil pipeline. The organizations say the Army Corps is lacking critical information on Enbridge Energy's project from the Department of Natural Resources and the Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. The Bad River Band has spent years fighting to remove the pipeline from their northern Wisconsin homeland. University of Minnesota Duluth officials are helping high school students who are navigating a new and shaky financial aid program. According to a Northern News Now report, this is the first year high school students will use the new FAFSA program, which has been plagued by delays and glitches since its soft launch in December. Students have complained that they aren't even able to get into the system to complete the necessary forms. The issues with the new system have delayed some financial aid offers to students. Ashland residents are preparing themselves for a massive jump in their water bills over the next 2 years. Ashland officials have proposed a 44% water rate increase over the next 2 years to address problems with the city's water system. According to a Northern News Now report, the Wisconsin Public Service Commission is looking for Ashland to ask for an even higher increase at 52%. Ashland residents who wish to speak against the massive jump in water rates can submit public comments online by June 30th. The Northland Foundation in Duluth was named as one of 21 organizations across Minnesota to receive funding through the Child Care Economic Development Grants Program. Of the $6.2 million of funding available through the program, the Northland Foundation will receive a $400,000 grant to invest in new or expanding child care businesses. The funding can be used for things like improvements to their facility, attracting and retaining workers, and other strategies to reduce child care shortages. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
A new beginning for the Phoenix. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The UW Green Bay Phoenix made an unusual hire this week when they named Doug Gottlieb their new head basketball coach. Gottlieb says he'll continue his daily national radio sports talk show while coaching the team. UWGB athletic director Josh Moon.
Again, he's won in everything he's done. Building a media career and then balancing that with how much exposure this university's got in the last day. It says a lot. So he's going to have to figure that balance out. And then what is he going to stop doing? That's his challenge, but we believe he can figure it out.
Baseball, the Brewers face the Astros in Houston tonight. Pat Murphy asked how Joey Ortiz, nicknamed Tito, is doing at third base.
Yeah, I feel like Tito's taken that step, to being an everyday player. I really do. When he swings at a breaking ball in the dirt, I want to tase him. I don't know if that's legal, but...
That's the Brewers' Pat Murphy. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Paramount Plus has picked up a documentary called We Will Dance Again about the terrorist attack in Israel last fall. The event took place on October 7th. The film has actual footage from many of the survivors of the tragedy and interviews with the survivors as well. The attacks took the lives of over 1,200 people. Paramount Plus is hoping to release the documentary this coming fall near the anniversary of the attack. Those of you who cut the cable cord years ago should be happy that more sports are available to stream. Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, and Fox have just announced a platform called Venue Sports. The new service says they will bring the best sports right into your home, although they have not disclosed how much the service will cost. Representatives of the company say the app will include ESPN, TBS, ABC, and FS Sports, just to name a few, and will include the NBA, NFL, MLB, professional hockey, NASCAR, and MMA. What, no pickleball? Forget it. Netflix has announced a new Kathryn Bigelow project at the Upfronts in New York on Wednesday. The 72-year-old award-winning Bigelow has directed thrillers Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker, but she has not directed a film since 2017's Detroit. The project is still currently untitled. Sticking with Netflix news, it's official. There will be a sequel. Happy Gilmore 2 is a go. The network used the upfronts for this announcement as well. The news comes after months of speculation and rumors and hints dropped by various Happy Gilmore 1 cast members. Unfortunately, it will not star Adam Sandler. Just kidding. The first film was released in 1996 and followed Sandler's character, a hockey player with anger issues who turns to golf. Chris McDonald is expected to return as golfer Shooter McGavin. This will be Sandler's 9th project with the streaming service. Here's hoping there will never be a sequel to Uncut Gems. If you're thinking about hitting the theaters this weekend for some summer movie magic, there is a lot to choose from. But this weekend, a couple of horror films are front and center. If you're looking for old-fashioned jump scares, check out The Strangers Chapter 1, but be warned, it is not reviewing all that well, which means Chapter 1 could be the final chapter. I Saw the Glow is another horror film opening, which is reviewing well with critics, but only drawing 50% from audiences. If you're looking for laughs, check out the family film If, starring Ryan Reynolds, or check out the more adult comedy Babes, about two friends whose relationship changes when one decides to have a baby after a one-night stand. Babes is pulling excellent reviews to the tune of 97% on RT. And if you feel like sitting in this weekend, there is nothing wrong with that. There's a good historical fiction series called Manhunt about the Lincoln assassination. All 7 episodes are available on Apple TV. Have fun at the movies. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba. Weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mostly sunny today. We'll get to around 82 for a high this afternoon. Tonight, clear, low of 60. Tomorrow, sunshine with a slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunder shower. 84 our high on Saturday. By Sunday, mostly sunny with a high right around 78. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 59.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.